You know what's funny? There are actually people in secret societies that are so self-deluded, so delusional, that they think that I'm just off my meds and I don't mean what I say. Fucking idiots. You are completely off your rocker. Bunkers. You lost your marbles, as a lot of old secret society ninnies often do, often have. If you think that I have even the slightest bit of respect for you, you are sadly mistaken. If you think you can point out some random shit that we have in common and magically it makes all the bitch shit you do okay, you are mistaken. So I made another video that's going to be very similar to this video. I'm going to unlist it. I'm very angry in that video. And I will put the link in the description and in the comments. Just like this video, that video is about warriors being shunned in society. And it's very sad. You see, when you insult these people, they use their surveillance state and their sissy little network to try to find anything they can about you. They'll try to get you to send dick pictures, and even if you have a 12-incher, they're going to say, well, you have a small dick, because they know that, they've seen your picture. They know that you know that they have your picture. Anything you might be self-conscious about, they will put extras on it. It reminds me of this article recently where this female cop, I forgot where she was. I want to say Ohio or something. I forgot where it was. Well, they did an investigation into her because somebody claimed he had sex with her on duty. Now, I don't know why another cop rather would claim that and thus get himself in trouble. Unless maybe she was his superior or something. I don't know. And he could make the argument that he felt pressured or something. I don't know. So they did an investigation. They grabbed her phone. They found her naked pictures that she sent to her boyfriend. You would think that a cop would know better than that, right? About the surveillance state. But apparently, even cops are ignorant to the extent of Masonic infiltration and the extent of the surveillance state and what have you. But I assure you that long before they seized her phone, all that did was give them a legal pretense to give her a hard time about her pictures, by saying that, oh, we got these pictures from this, as opposed to them having to highlight Masonic activities, clandestine activities of secret societies and the secret government. They chose to take that route. Anyway, so they gave her a hard time about it, and she sued. And that's how these things work. You see, society is run by geeks, in think tanks and Ivy League schools and professors and what have you, and the ultra rich, the Rockefellers and all these rich sissies. You know who they are. You probably know more about who the rich people are than I do. You know why? Because I really don't give a shit. Okay? Unless they're very obvious criminals, I don't care. There are countless rich families who are criminal scum who really I don't know about because I don't fucking care. It's not my job to know every rich piece of shit even in the state of California. I know the categories of people. I know how things work, and the specifics that I focus on lead me to many conclusions that are unavoidable, indisputable. The great warriors in society will always be shunned. And when I say great warriors, I'm referring to the natural warriors. People who are big and strong, who are fighters, who aren't rich. Okay, typically when you go to the gym, for example, women aren't just looking for a guy who's big and strong. They're looking for a guy who's a quote unquote hunk that leaves in a nice car, okay, who's successful. They want quote unquote the full package. Now, it is not just because I've made a point in being poor so that I may be the best Christian I can be that I say this. It's something we all know. I'm sure I haven't just drawn your attention to it for the first time. You're like, oh my God, I never thought of it that way. I'm sure you know. So, what happens to warriors who aren't conformists? Now, listen very carefully. I'm going to make an argument that is not going to sit well with some people, and others are going to concede right away. To truly be a warrior that is a respectable warrior, not some kind of thief who happens to be strong, not some kind of lowly scumbag that serves in the military or something, not some kind of geek that operates a submarine or a drone or a plane, fighter plane, what have you, but truly a warrior. You have to fight for a cause, a good cause. So from my perspective, in my perhaps humble point of view, the most respectable man in society is a transcendent hero. It is a warrior who fights for a good cause, who has transcended to the point where he has reached the status of heroism, of being a hero, a transcendent hero. He may reach that status by mastery in Ngolo, from mastery in, martial arts, proficiency and applications of combat arts. He may reach that status, by being a mediocre fighter who has accomplished a great deed through a transcendent mind state that has made him fearless and respectable. But regardless of how he got there, which path he took, the most respectable person in society, in my opinion, is a transcendent hero who historically is even envied by the king. And kings have lied about being transcendent heroes, even in Egypt, the greatest empire of all time. Kings and pharaohs have lied about being transcendent heroes because it is such an enviable status to achieve, a timeless status. Unfortunately, we live in a time where ninnies who downplay the relevance of Horus the Avenger, for instance, of all the gods in their warrior forms, Sekhmet, all these gods and their roles as warriors, using perhaps supernatural but definitely natural fighting arts. Natural warriors, and the most respectable of them in mythology are the ones who fight for a good cause. And of those, I would argue, is Horus the most respectable of all. Now we know that I'm not just saying this, that I have had these tattoos on me for a long time. That I brought Horus up back in 2009 in Illuminati Part 1. We know that this is how I see it. I want you all to ask yourselves, am I right? Or are a bunch of rich nerds who were pushed around by bullies right? Who is naturally superior? The people who could not defend themselves from bullies without access to thousands of years of human research? Or the people who naturally conquer bullies? Who is the superior form of life naturally? Because how else could you be superior if not naturally in nature? As soon as you add scientific achievement to the situation, you are not talking about naturally superior. You are talking about an artificial system, which includes artificial makeup superiority. The illusion of superiority. Ask yourselves, who is right? Who is closer to God? Those who stray from the path, or those that are naturally transcendent, especially heroes? Does Jesus come back as a Girl Scout, or does he come on a cloud in power and majesty? Natural power, natural majesty. Or is he some kind of illusion, some kind of artificial bitch that comes back on a fucking spaceship? What is he? And so these lowly, sniveling, snot-nosed fucking geeks, these pencil-dicked, bifocal-wearing, magic card bitches have usurped transcendent heroes in the minds of men because they are inferior naturally. And so attractive women who are put here naturally for the men who would naturally win their respect. Need I draw your attention to the beginning of the book, Fighting for Honor? And I've gone over this book. I'll put the links to where I've gone over this book, the whole thing, the key parts of the whole thing. Well, a lot of the key parts in other videos. The bottom, mastery, the last paragraph, page 11. Mastery in either art could bring a skilled practitioner respect for his graceful execution, the admiration of potential wives, and economic advancement. Each art provided a path of spiritual development that could take an exceptional adept to one of the highest forms of honor in Africa, the status of a transcendent hero. Now, they covertly drug me, and I've proven that on record. No matter how you look at it. Even if you want to pretend that it was some weird twist of fate that my mom magically, for the first time in her life, couldn't explain what was causing her to feel sick when she entered my room. And magically the fact that she insisted that I no longer sleep here doesn't mean anything. Magically. Even if you magically don't think that they're drugging my food at all, you still have to admit that I have that interview with that one female that says, where she says she was told to provoke me to get me involuntarily admitted. That is covert drugging in a roundabout fashion, because they're covertly setting the stage for me to be drugged, which affects my martial arts. And historically, if a woman is wise enough, which she's probably not, to know what being an African of any race is about, we are all Africans, mind you, and to give me her admiration for my graceful execution, which they are preventing me from having, thus violating my religious, cultural, and human rights and freedoms. Not to mention by lying to society about what we should respect in people and what we shouldn't, denying me the admiration of potential wives and economic advancement, which I care not about. But there's one thing these lowly pencil dick magic card fucking Ouija board pussies can never deny me, those idolatrous dogs. And that is the status of a transcendent hero in the eyes of God and the heavens, the inhabitants of heaven. You pussies. My ancestors are proud of me, and they have spite in their heart for you. You are a shame. You are a disgrace to your ancestors. You cowards. You surreptitious sissies. While I am openly heroic and defiant of your Babylonian fucking demonic system, you cowards. And I do mean cowards. I'll leave it there because I'm out of time and I've already proven my point beyond any doubt. And this isn't the first time I've read this book to you, that exact paragraph. You know I mean it. And you know my challenge still stands. Thank you.